So you want to catch more cobia, you're asking yourself, what's the best rod reel setups, especially at the different tiers, because there's a lot of different tiers. Here's what's cool. In this video, we're going to talk about a budget tier rod reel setup. We're going to talk about that mid tier. We're going to talk about that upper tier. So that way, if you want the cobia and you want to know any type of level, we've got it for you. And we're right here at the new Oceans East building. It's pretty exciting. We got the owner, Jimmy Hillsman. We're at the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center in Nags Head, North Carolina. Of course, we're with the professor. And so after this video, you're gonna have a clear sense as to which rod reel combo for cobia is right for you. All right, Jimmy, so let's get started with the rod. Let's say I'm wanting to go cobia fishing. I don't want to break the bank, but I want something that's decent. You know, I don't want something that's from this company that won't be named.
Sure.
With that, let's start with that budget-minded person that still wants a decent rod. What are we looking at here?
So this is a tsunami rod, 7 foot, heavy action, Sapphire XT. Very, very reasonably priced cobia rod to get somebody started. Which,
so that's a Tsunami, so that's the manufacturer, and this particular one's called a Sapphire, but I'm guessing there's a lot of different names.
Yep.
You want it to be strong enough for the cobia, but also it's got to have some tip action.
It has it a light enough tip, you can feel the bite, but then through here it's stiff, so but great starting rod. I mean, this is one of our better selling cobia outfits right here.
Okay.
Very reasonably priced.
So the reel that would go with that would be what?
I'd say, a Pin Pursuit or a Pin Fierce. They're in the $60-ish range, or at least the Pursuit is. Fierce is maybe $10 or $15 more, but that's a good starting reel that can handle. That's a $6,000, so it's not bad. So $120, $130, you're ready to go with the cobia, cobia setup. So
all right,
not bad at all.
Yeah, $120, $130. And you've got something that's going to last you more than a couple of weeks. I mean, it's going to last you multiple seasons probably still, but this is a good unit.
Yep.
All right, and you're going to catch some fish. Okay, good. Now let's move on to the mid tier there.
So
what are we looking at?
I'm gonna grab this Meat Hog. So the Meat Hog guys, they make the bucktails that we love so much over there. They also make rods, and this is one of the rods that they designed. It came out a couple years ago. It's right around $200. But every little part of this thing, very, very light rod.
Wow, this is different, Professor. Have you felt that one?
Yeah.
That's a different feel, isn't it?
It's smaller.
Nice. They build it locally here in Nags Head, and they're booked 7 days a week. So every day they're out there using these rods. I fished with them a month ago, and this is what we used all day, these rods. And at the end of the day, I said, "Daggone, I need to get myself one." And I bought myself one. I really like them.
And if somebody wants to order one of these, you could ship it out.
Oh, we can ship them anywhere. So anything that anybody sees that they want, we can spool the reels up with line.
Yeah.
Bucktails, tie them up, whatever, and we have it heading your way. So, yep, shipping stuff every day at Oceans East.
All right. Yeah, okay. The Meat Hog, they got a cool logo, by the way. I'm totally feeling that logo.
They do.
That's great. Now, what you would use as a reel with that is what?
So on mine, I have a Pin Slammer, and I use this also out there, like we talked about catching tunas. But the Pin Slammer 6500 is a good size you can put on it. You could also put a 5500 if you wanted, but I use the 6500, and I put put 65, 80-pound braid. You can put 50-pound braid on it. But this is a really good reel.
Rough range of price on that one?
It's in the $200 range.
Right. So we've gone from basically $120, $130 for that budget-minded, and now we're in that $400 range. Yeah. But Professor, I guess you wouldn't be afraid to use that for tuna, correct?
No, not at all. No.
I mean, that is especially for the yellowfin.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to be using something like that tomorrow.
Hope so.
We're going to cast on them a little
sir.
bit, because I've never done that before. Okay, and so that's our middle tier, if you will. And then finally, if we're looking at that upper echelons, what are we talking about there, Jimmy?
So Jigging World, they're a company up in the Northeast. Mike Kim, that runs the show there.
Jigging World.
Okay. They have tuna plug-in rods, jigging rods, and actually they make this. And some people might consider this a tuna plug-in rod, but as far as the action for cobias, Yeah, I've sold tons of them in the last couple of weeks. So the Cobias are down here. So it's the AMF series, and this is an 8-foot rod, or just shy of an 8-foot rod. It's unreal for Cobia. I mean,
Do you find more people go 7 or 8 foot when it comes to Cobia rods?
50-50.
Really?
It's
Okay.
wild. I'd say the younger generation are the 8-foot guys coming up, and then us old school guys were more of like the 7-foot.
What about you, Professor?
7-foot rods.
I don't have a preference really.
Really? Okay, on that. I know you do with your speckled trout. All right. So 7 or 8 foot.
But this thing, I mean, this thing is bad to the bone. I mean, I take it out there until I can catch big eyes or whatever on it, plug in. I mean, it is. You could bend it and touch the floor and not break the thing. I mean, it's
Really?
it's impressive.
So this is, I mean, an incredibly versatile casting rod that you could clearly use out in the Gulf Stream, or you could use that for the biggest cobia here inshore as well.
Oh yeah. And the price on this, I mean, it is up there a little bit, $379.
Yep.
It's not cheap, but it's one of those once in a lifetime buys that you'll have forever, and well worth it as far as quality.
Once you got that one, you're donezo. Okay, and so the reel that you would match it, and just in terms of quality, high-end here reel for cobia, or again, could be used in another manner is?
I mean, we could put a Stella or something very expensive on here, and it's gonna be $1,000 or more. But honestly, what I like to pair it up with, and most of my customers do, is Saragossa. It's very similar to the price range of the Slammer, maybe a little bit more. But as far as the drag system is awesome. I mean, I catch everything on my Saragossas.
So the Saragossa SW6000
It's a 6,000.
HG here.
And that's, I sell Infracobias, I sell the 5,000, the 6,000, and the 8,000. But I'd say my most popular size is the 6,000. At least down here it is.
I love it. I love it. That is pretty cool. And so now you've got a pretty good sense. We've talked about 3 different tiers. The first one, that budget-minded, was around $130-ish for that rod reel cobia setup.
Yep.
Then I think we were around $400-ish. And then we finished that upper echelons in that, I guess it would be 600 and above, essentially. And it can keep going, of course, but that's probably what we're looking at. And listen, if you're watching this right now, you're saying, I like this such and such brand. Put it in the comments. Let us know. And of course, you sell other things as well.
Yeah, this isn't all that we have. I mean, we have every rod reel you can imagine. So this is just 3 of the ones that that we picked to showcase that we really like, but have all types of stuff.
Yeah, it's not an exhaustive list here, but remember, anything that you want that you can find, oftentimes you can order from Oceans East. So make sure you give them a call. They will send it to you anywhere in the U.S. and they have people that do that all the time. But we love these guys, so make sure you come to the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center, brand new location, super cool, or right there in Manio, next to Pirates Cove. That's where we are with the professor himself. Come join us on a trip. It is that time of year. We are having a blast catching these fish. And the professor is just smiling every day when he gets home. I mean, just constantly smiling, living the dream.
Yep.
We want you to come live the dream with us. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Till the next time, everyone, stay salty.